Inside EVs is claiming that Joe Biden is siding with Elon Musk. Don't know if this is true, but I'll tell you the story and give you my opinion. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you here. Hope your 64,000 happy faces are having a great day today. If you're not, well, this is good news if you look at it from one way and bad news if you look at it from another. So, let me know in the comment section below if you think this is good news or bad news. And I've been looking at comments on this so far. People are fairly divided. Seems as though 50% say bad news, 50% say good news. I want to know which side of the division you're on. Now, Stephen Loveday says that as it turns out, we can have our cake and eat it too. I don't think that's true. I think the whole point of that phrase was to say you can't have your cake and eat it too. Anyway, US President Joe Biden has now moved forward with a multifaceted plan to help Americans amid the current energy crisis. And yeah, it is somewhat of a crisis. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but here in Australia, the price of fuel is insane. It literally doubled in the space of a year. So our government has reduced the price somewhat by halving the tax they charge on fuel here. The taxes they charge on fuel here are insane. I know the taxes they charge on fuel in Europe are insane. That said, maybe they're not insane considering this stuff that we burn literally kills us. And I'm not even talking about global warming here. That's a thing. But I'm talking even about just breathing in the air. Literally causes cancer. So those taxes are pretty reasonable when you think about it like that, right? Now, apparently Biden has invoked the Defense Production Act to help with EV batteries, which won't have any change to that industry for at least a couple of years whatsoever. But anyway, that's nice that he's done that. He's also authorized the release of oil from US strategic petroleum reserves, which will work to lower gas prices. Now, obviously at some point there recently, America was completely self-sufficient when it came to oil. Now, guys, I don't know if that's changed, but let me know in the comment section below what's going on there. Tesla CEO Elon Musk apparently has rubbed people the wrong way. He has a penchant for doing this. I like the guy. He says some things that I usually agree with his outlandish statements, but maybe I'm just a bit outlandish myself, right? Let me know what you think about that statement in the comment section below as well. Now, the reason he's rubbed people the wrong way is because he called for an immediate release in gas and oil production in the US. However, no matter what the administration does related to promoting electric cars and EV batteries, it's going to take a long time for that transition to roll out. But in terms of gas and oil production release, well, that can have a pretty quick impact to market prices. One of the good things in my view about the increase recently in the price of oil, it's meant a lot of people are saying, you know what, I'm going to get an EV for my next car. Even if I have to wait, I'll make a pre-order. I'll do whatever it takes. So there is that. But obviously, Elon thinks it's gone too far. Biden was aiming to use the US Defense Production Act to promote the mining and production of EV battery materials. But obviously, that won't help out overnight. In the meantime, President Biden needs to do something instantaneous to help with gas prices, apparently. That's what people are saying. Musk's early tweet stated that extraordinary times demand extraordinary measures. He also said that increasing oil and gas output immediately would negatively impact Tesla. But sustainable energy solutions simply cannot react instantaneously to make up for the loss in Russian oil and gas exports. Now, I've added a couple of words to his statement to make it have more clarity for you, but that's what he said. You can see here the tweet, right? Now, he also said, in response to somebody else, by the way, increased oil and gas production in the short term is critical or people around the world will be placed under great duress. This is not a question of money. It is a question of having enough energy to power civilization. I've got to say, if you think you're smarter than Elon Musk, yeah, I've got something to tell you, you're not. If you were, you'd be worth at least a cool couple of $100 million. And I'm going to guess you're probably not. So the guy knows what he's talking about in terms of the amount of energy the world needs and in terms of how this is affecting people who are poor. And it is. So I can understand where he's coming from. And I don't think this is as much of a big talking point as people are making out. In fact, I think it's probably affecting a lot of people who are basically living on the borderline of poverty, and that's probably where he's coming from. So I think if you're going to criticize the statement, you have to consider it from a totality, not just from your perception of where you live or how you live, but on the perception of everyone around the world. And I think that's his statement here. He's making a point about how this affects everyone. It's been clear for some time that Biden and Musk don't really like each other very much. However, the steps that the president took this week says Stephen Loveday from Inside EVs, follow precisely what Musk suggested a few weeks ago. As it turns out, one of the big problems we tend to see with the politicians on both sides of the aisle is that they try to fix problems now without making adequate plans to keep them from happening again or potentially becoming worse in the future. And that's exactly what happens here in Australia. Politicians just do things that they hope will get them re-elected. So they're trying to they're basically lighting fires or fighting fires now. No. They're not thinking about, okay, what does the future hold? What's the best for this population 10 years from now? 20 years from now. In fact, I'd say 9 out of 10 politicians could not care less what's going on in 10 years in their country. In order to move forward successfully and help all people, not just in America, but all around the world, we need a fix for the time being, followed by a permanent fix for the future. So this is not just about now, it's about the future. So I understand where President Biden is coming from here in terms of trying to force companies to mine minerals to be able to create batteries. I don't know this is going to work quite the way he thinks it will, but I could be wrong. Who knows? Biden's plan will release over 180 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. More specifically, it authorizes the release of 1 million barrels per day for 6 months. I think that's a good plan. That makes sense to me, but a lot of people don't agree. The President also signed a Defense Production Act directive that will allow the US to put a high priority on the mining and production of key EV battery materials and even offer subsidies to companies that are ramping up their EV efforts or their mining efforts for these materials that are needed. The Department of Defense determined in a recent study that the components needed for high-capacity batteries are critical to our country's national defense. Well, your country's anyway, the US. And the authorization will help the government construct new US factories for battery material production. Now, there's a lot of other information around this story. Personally, I don't think the government fully understands where batteries are going to be in 10 years from now or even 5 years from now. I've said on this channel numerous times, the future of batteries is not what they think it is. It's not nickel-based batteries. It's not cobalt-based batteries. It's not ternary batteries. It's lithium iron phosphate batteries. I think lithium, yes, of course, they need lithium. But part of this idea is that they need more nickel. They need other minerals, cobalt, manganese. And I don't think that's a good long-term plan, considering the information you've seen on this channel, if you've been watching this channel about LFP batteries, how their energy density will be the same as ternary batteries within the next couple of years, and they don't have all the downsides. And clearly that's the reason why they've taken over the Chinese market. That takeover will be pretty much complete within the next couple of years, I believe, with ternary batteries only holding a very small percentage of the Chinese car market. Therefore, that will give them a huge advantage on cost. Lithium iron phosphate batteries are much cheaper than ternary batteries. So I'm not really sure the government understands this. Maybe they do. I could be wrong. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, comment I'm seeing on forums says this is really disappointing. If it means winning enough votes for the midterms to keep Democrats in control of Congress, maybe it works in the short term. So some people think that Biden is simply doing this to be re-elected. Other people are saying comments similar to this. Tim said, this is not disappointing. People are going to need the energy that they need to get to work or to stay warm. Cutting supply is a deadly solution. We need to transition to clean alternatives, not end civilization. I think that's where Musk is coming from. He's seeing it that way. Let me know which way you see it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.